to, I guess, get started. And plus, I know a lot of people enjoyed it from when I used to stream last year or whatever. So we're going to go ahead and start the YouTube highlight from right here. And I'm going to go ahead and just give you guys a quick overview of what we're doing. Sub Sundays is basically the game plan is going to be at 6 p.m., which is right now, Central Standard Time. I'm going to be picking, you know, not necessarily picking one, it can help out multiple, but right now, I already talked with Byrcemonk. He's a monk from, Brewmaster monk from Kil'jaeden, and we're pretty much going to be helping him, you know, he was having some issues on Lei Shen, whether it was just damage intake, cooldown usage, and just overall, just, you know, how to optimize playing a Brewmaster monk on that fight. So, what we're going to be doing, you know, I've got his armory, and put a pause on this music here. I've got his armory, I've got his, you know, World of Logs, and I also have his stream link. And we're going to be going over each one of these to see what things that we can, you know, look at to optimize, what we can find to optimize, what we can find to, you know, have him adjust and, you know, hopefully improve his performance on that. So, we're going to go ahead and get him called up on Skype, and then we're going to be getting this started, okay? So let me call him up real quick. Or first off, let's make sure. Alright. We gotta get the volume and stuff right. Yo!
Hey.
Hey, what's up, man? Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you okay.
Okay, I'm gonna have to let the stream help me out with adjusting your volume and whatnot. I'm going to turn you up just slightly to make sure they can hear you. And then if the
Okay.
stream, yeah, if you guys need me to turn him up, just say something in the stream and then I'll adjust his volume. But if you guys can hear him good, that's fine. We're going to go ahead and get this started. Okay. But again, this is Byrcemonk. He is from how do you say your guild name?
Certa.
Certa. Okay, so he's from Certa on Kil'jaeden. So this is actually like, geez, man, everybody's on Kil'jaeden these days. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw your armory link in the chat so they can follow along. And I appreciate you hopping on here and you know, being helping you know, be part of the guild workshop thing. So we're gonna go ahead and start out here. Or I guess before we get started, let's go ahead and if you don't mind, just introduce yourself, you know, like whatever you would want people to know about you, and, you know, nothing super lengthy, but just a short introduction, and then we'll get started.
Well, my name's Bryce. I've been tanking since I've started playing WoW, which is late Wrath, so I previously tanked on the Protection Paladin, and then I moved to the Brewmaster Miss.
So what made you switch from a prop pally to Brewmaster? Did you just like the way that, you know, the idea of the monk, or is it just something you kind of leveled and started liking then, or what?
Well, I started the monk more so I was trying to race for server first 90. I missed that, but I was getting tired of the old prop paladin playstyle and wanted something a little more active.
Okay, so you played a monk pretty much since the start of Mists of Pandaria, or did you just start this tier, or what?
It's been day one since
Okay.
Miss.
Cool, man. Awesome, good stuff. All right, so I got your armory up here. I'm just gonna look over a few things here. It looks like you've got pretty much like full mastery oriented, which is fine. So you have the DPS legendary meta gem. One of the first things I want to look at. I know you had mentioned to me that, you know, you were having issues with, you know, your shuffle uptime and whatnot. I kind of find that a bit surprising, to be honest. I see here that you're expertise capped and hit capped. How long have you been running the expertise and hit cap setup?
Since I started writing in 5.0.
Okay, and what's the reason you're going for mastery over crit, say?
I have been full crit up until Lei Shen, and our first few attempts this past Thursday. I thought I was taking a bit too much damage, so I decided to swap the mastery and see how it went.
Right. Are you, one thing I don't think I've asked you, are you 10 or 25 man?
25 man.
Huh. Okay. And, is this, actually I haven't looked at the stream, I just had it open for, um, the interview thing here. Is this your POV by chance?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, okay, so we're definitely going to be able to check this out, and I'm just going to kind of see. Um, how you got the opener there. So, how many, okay, is this, I guess we'll start here. Have you had any problems with, like, damage intake up until this point, or is this kind of like the first time you've really had to worry about how much damage intake you have?
This week on our Durumu kill, I was looking back through the logs because I thought I was taking a bit more damage than I should, but my shuffle there was like 98% uptime,
Hmm.
so I'm still trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay, cool. Let's, I guess we'll start with, from the logs, rather. Do you have any specific pull you want me to start with on these Lei Shen attempts, or just, anyone, really?
It's just anyone.
Okay. I actually see here you guys had some normal pulls, or is that just the World of Logs not recording it correctly?
Yeah, we had no normal pulls.
Okay. I'm just going to go to the longest pull here, and then we're going to take a look at this. And then, okay, so, players, Monk, Byrcemonk. Alright, so right now we're going to go look and kind of look at your, um, you want to look at some of the, main buff up times and whatnot for a monk, and anybody that's wanting to follow along in the stream. This is one thing if you guys want to like look and see ways to improve or just evaluate your own play. You need to be going to World of Logs and you go to your whatever character you're wanting to look at. You guys can be going to the buffs cast tab or even the buffs gain. Buffs cast only deals with the shit that you deal, whether it's your buffs or your debuffs. Buffs gain includes other people's buffs, like, Earth Shield, Sack, all that stuff on a tank. So we're going to go ahead and go to the Buffs Cast tab. And if you click this little pound sign, it puts a little green bar here for you guys to, pretty much get a visual for the amount of uptime. Because it's one thing to see 25%, but the green bar actually lets you see, where that 25% took place or whatever. So we're going to look at his shuffle uptime. We're going to look at his... see, excuse me, Tiger Power. That's another good one. This is his two-piece. We're gonna look at that. Dampen Harm, and let's see if I can grab any other ones that would be Elusive Brew. Yeah, let's see this. Should have two different. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so these are like a lot of the moneymaker buffs that you want to follow on a monk. So we got Elusive Brew, the actual stacks, and then the use. And then we also have, we're going to go ahead and move your two-piece below that so it just kind of like makes sense. So all this stuff is tied together right there in a row. And there'll be a little bit of stream delay from what you're hearing me on Skype, so you just have to follow along with a little bit of the delay. I noticed you said you were popping Dampen Harm on the pull. That's actually not a bad idea. I mean, one thing about the monk is until you get your shuffle up and rolling, like so say the first hit that you're going to take, like if you pull the boss and you hit it with a keg smash and you take a hit before you get your shuffle up, I mean, yeah, it's going to hit pretty hard. So pulling with Dampen Harm's not a bad idea. I mean, it's on a 90-second cooldown, so it's not really that big of a deal. Um, let's see, your Tiger Power, the reason I look at that, it's also tied to your uh, power guard as well. In the event you need to guard, you need to make sure you need to have as close to 100% uptime on Tiger Power as you can, because it's pretty much making you deal, um, I don't know the exact amount more damage. I think it says here 30% more of your armor. For some reason, I was thinking it was like 15% damage. I don't know, whatever. Either way, it's a damage up. You need to make sure that it's up 100% of the time. And then obviously your main thing that you want to do is, maintain your shuffle. Okay. So, real quick, what's the talent setup that you're using for Lei Shen?
In the video I linked you first, it was Tiger's Loss, Chi Wave, Ascension, Leg Sweep, Damping Harm, and Zwing.
Okay. Um, or how far are you guys getting in the fight, really?
Well, our first night was this past Thursday, so not. We're getting to the third pillar, I would say.
Okay, so yeah, it's still in phase one. That's fine. I would actually, are you on Storm Rage or Kil'jaeden? Because your armory says Kil'jaeden, but your stream says Storm Rage.
I'm on Kil'jaeden. I
Okay,
haven't updated my stream yet.
okay, gotcha. All right. Yeah. So, just a tip, I guess. Like, once you get further down the road in the fight, as far as playing a monk, um, you're gonna want to use Rushing Jade Wind and Chi Burst instead of Zwin and Chi Wave. Zwin and Chi Wave are single target. Uh, you know, design, or I guess they're optimized more for single target. Anytime you have like AoE with ads consistently coming out at least on 30-second intervals or something like that, you're going to want to be using Rushing Jade Wind and Chi Burst, and those two abilities excel, quite a bit on that fight. So what we're going to do here, actually, I'm going to go and get you a. I'm going to just show you a pull from. My Lei Shen damage, just to make sure you can kind of see where the abilities that I'm telling you kind of like line up. Okay, so if you can see in the stream, just give it a second. My number one hitting ability in that encounter is Chi Burst, and then outside of that, or the below that is Keg Smash, and then closely followed by that is Rushing Jade Wind. So, I mean, just goes to show you how much those talents can affect, your damage on that encounter, just because of how the ball lightning and stuff work in phase 2 and 3. But right now, I mean, don't really worry about that so much. If anything, I would say start using them just to get used to using them in phase 1. They're not really going to net you that much damage because you're going to be using it on single target for the most part. But, yeah, just I would say go ahead and pick them up and just get used to using them, timing a Chi Burst after a Thunderstruck to help the healers out with healing and just things like that. That way you don't get in the habit of using Swin and Chi Wave, and then all of a sudden you're in phases 2 and 3, and then you have to switch. I would go ahead and make that switch now while you're in phase 1. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and we're gonna look at. Let's see. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to actually open this log up a little more. We're going to look at damage taken. I mean, you can see here, during the time of this log, were you crit focused or were you mastery focused?
I was crit focused.
Okay. As you can see here, you're taking less damage than the paladin. The only reason that you're even higher by a marginal amount is just because of the stagger. I mean, I guess technically you're taking, pretty much the same damage, but stagger damage is very that's not. You're taking less melee damage from the boss than the paladin is what I'm getting at. So, I don't really. I mean, why exactly do you think you're taking more damage? I mean, is it just because of what your healers are saying, or what?
Well, for me, it's more of it seems like just about every melee hit is basically a red stagger, a heavy stagger for me. And
Huh.
I just feel like it shouldn't be necessary heavy that often.
Right. Okay. Well, let's break this down a little bit more here. I'm gonna take a look and see. We're gonna look at your stagger amounts. We can look and see your light stagger, your moderate stagger, and your heavy stagger. So you can see you procced your heavy stagger 1, 2, 3, 3 times the first time you were tanking it. Once the second time you were tanking it, and then additional 4 times third time you tank. So I mean, it's a decent amount. I would say don't worry so much about getting the red stagger, especially one thing you get the free purifying brews from your 4-piece. You see here you had actually 7 procs in like a 4-minute period, so that's not bad at all. Um, that's more than one. It's almost twice a minute. You're gonna on average every 30 seconds you're gonna be able to purify your shit for free with your 4-piece. But I mean that's just kind of like the design of the monk. I mean the fact that you're able to shuffle or to stagger the damage. I mean it the way you're looking at it is not necessarily wrong because for you guys right now, you need to be worried about getting further into the fight consistently. So your decision to go mastery, that's not bad. Like that was a good decision because it's gonna get you guys into the intermission, start learning the intermission more consistently and things like that. But once you get further into the fight, you're gonna want to be a more like crit focused build because you're going to be the highest like efficiency damage dealer in the raid. Yeah, as you can see here, like so from our logs, like it's you know monk tanks are going to be the highest damage on that fight if when played correctly. And a lot of there's a lot of variables in play, like how long are the ads up. Monk's going to be doing even more damage. So basically, like the lower your raid's DPS is, the higher the monk's damage is going to go because um, the monk excels just exponentially when the ads are active, and the lower your raid DPS, the longer those ads are going to be up, which means you're going to be doing much more damage. So, if I were you, I would, I would recommend you could stay the mastery build for right now, but at some point I would definitely suggest making a switch back to the crit build. And I mean, you have the log here from you having the crit build. Actually, let's just look one more quick thing here. Your elusive brew stacks, I'm just kind of like hovering over it here. I see you getting up to like a 6 stack. A 6 stack. It's really weird. Like, if you were a crit build, I think you should be getting to a lot more like uh, 15 stacks of elusive brew. I don't know, you're kind of using it pretty often, which is good, and it gives you the extra damage reduction from your 2-piece, so that's fine. Let's see, how much crit do you have, actually? Like, percent, do you know off the top of your head?
During the attempt, I believe it was around 13.5K.
Oh, okay. Let me look at what mine is. I actually don't know the number off the top of my head. I'm just trying to find out, like, to compare. Uh, okay, 13.5K, that's pretty good, because I mean, I'm in, like, full BIS gear almost, and I'm in, like, 15.2. If you were at 13 point whatever, that should be plenty. I'm looking at your, you got 2, secondary stat trinkets, that's good. I mean, your gear is definitely solid enough to be a full crit build. I mean, you're not lacking in the stamina department or anything like that. I mean, you have 542 eye level. Um, looks like you're keeping up with your VP upgrades for the most part. See, the majority of your pieces are upgraded, so that's good. Professions, engineering, okay, that's good too. Yeah, me personally, I would switch back to crit. And if the healers want to, say something about it, you can pretty much show them the logs or whatever. I mean, like I said, one of your guys' longest pulls that you had, and you took less boss damage than the paladin. And if we want to actually look here and just compare the damage taken, you can just look at the graphs, and you can see that the paladin spikes much higher than what you do at any point. Like the damage intake that you have never goes really. I guess you're taking here at the beginning, then you swap to the paladin. This is probably him getting hit with a decapitate, I'm guessing. Either that or he got hit without a shield debuff or shield buff up. Actually, I'm pretty sure
He's
that's a decapitate. What's up?
he's never actually taking a decapitate. We're always swapping to where I take the decapitates.
Okay. Um, I guess this is just him not having the shield. Shield the Righteous buff up, because I mean he's spiking pretty hard on damage taken in a couple different instances here. So yeah, I mean maybe it's just you know, you're being a bit on the cautious side or whatnot, but you're definitely not taking any type of, you know, critical damage or anything with a crit build. So actually we're gonna look at I'm gonna throw this stream link in. I'm going to throw this stream link in chat here, and I'm going to go through this. We're just going to fast forward here until we get a poll. I'm just going to kind of watch this. I know you said the quality wasn't, you know, like the best, but I think it's going to be good enough for us to see what we need to see. So it looks like he's coming in here. Just real quick, I'm going to pause it. Just give me a quick rundown, like, what's your opener? Like, how do you open on the boss?
Well, I'm running arcade smashing in a blackout kit.
To get your shuffle up instantly?
Yeah.
Okay.
And some of the pulls I started actually popping damping harm on the pull. I'm not sure if this was one of the pulls that did that.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Especially, I mean, like, usually, uh, you know, our pally, Absalom, is the one that pulls, and I don't really have to deal with any of, you know, the not having the shuffle up when I pick the boss up. But, you know, if I were to do that, I definitely, for this fight specific, I would definitely, that's not a bad idea. I mean, like I said, it's only on a 90-second cooldown, so, you know, go ahead and popping your damping arm on the pull is a good thing. One thing I would say, I mean, if you're just looking for, like, maximum damage, min-max, you know, you're going to be getting an MD from a hunter on the pull, most likely. So I would open with a Tiger Palm, because that's going to give you your damage amp for your first Keg Smash. So in the grand scheme of things, I mean, the first global is weaker, but the second global is much stronger, if that makes sense. So like you would, you know, you pop Dampen Harm. I mean, that shit's up for 45 seconds. You can pop Dampen Harm when he's in the other quadrant. You don't have to wait for him to pour it in. I would pop Dampen Harm when he's in the quadrant about to pour it in. As soon as he ports, you hit him with a Tiger Palm. You know, taunt the boss to make sure that it stays on you for enough time for you to land the Keg Smash. And once you land you know, an amped Keg Smash, it should be GG. And then right after that, do what you've been doing. So the only thing I would say, I guess, to modify is to open with a Tiger Palm instead of a Keg Smash, just because if you Keg Smash first, it's not going to have the, you know, the benefit of having the Tiger Palm buff up, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and watch right here and just kind of like watch what happens. Alright, you pull. Trying to see. Okay, yeah, so looks like you, I think that's jab. It looks like you jab twice, then blackout kick. What is this over here on the side? What's your damage? What is this? What's the word I'm looking? What is the scrolling combat text that you're using?
At CT.
Okay. Let's see. I'll move this so they can see it in chat. Okay, so we're looking over here to the right at kind of like his abilities here. He's got his Chi Wave going. Then you get your Tiger Palm up, and things like that. So, yeah, I would say probably just make the modification I was saying with, you know, getting your Tiger Palm first. Chilling at where are you tracking your shuffle at? Where's your shuffle up time? Is this at the 7.7 with this weak aura right here? To the left
Yeah.
of your, okay. And where's your energy?
It's below my character.
Oh, okay.
Would you
Just trying to
recommend like putting
follow.
energy in a more easier to see location maybe?
I don't know. I mean, I can show you a picture of uh my UI. Let's see what we've. It's, let's see. I'll just go ahead and throw one of these up there, and we can kind of compare and go over some of the, differences that it makes for placement of abilities. One sec. Just find a good in-combat screenshot.
And another question about the stats with the full crit build. During them attempts, I was at like 3.2k haste. I've been trying to get the least amount of haste as I could.
Right.
Would you recommend that, or should I like up that to like maybe 4k or something?
No, I don't think that you should be going for haste really at all as a brewmaster, because there's no real point. I'm gonna go ahead and link you a picture of my UI here, and we're gonna kind of go over it. Um, I'll put it in stream chat, and then I'll don't worry about it. I mean, if people are trolling, just mods do me a favor and ban people. I mean, I don't know why you guys are giving people a hard time that are, showing up here trying to improve their play. If you guys want to, criticize people or anything like that, you can go find a different stream to watch. So, yeah, let's not be jackasses. Anyways, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and link you a picture of my UI, and we can kind of just compare things to, uh, the two UIs and whatnot. As you can see here on my UI, I've got as much as I can centralized um, around where my character is, and we kind of flip back and forth between your UI. I mean, you kind of have that, to be honest. The only thing I would maybe say is your energy and chi is kind of like, down towards the bottom left, whereas your character model is here, like all this stuff. Like the biggest thing about the tank wise is you want to be able to see as much shit as you can while still looking around your character. Like the whole focus is like around your character, so you're not. I see some people that have like their, they'll have their, health and all that shit like up here in like the top right or whatnot. Let me move this around so people can see it better. But okay, yeah, but like I said, like some people have their default unit frames like up here. I mean, at the end of the day, whatever people are comfortable with, they can make it work. But no matter how you spin it, there's ways to optimize it. So it's like you can make the argument that, hey man, this works for me, I get it done. It's like, okay, that's cool, but you could be better if you had it more optimized. You know what I mean? So like, you'll hear a lot of people make that argument. But I'm not saying that people can't. I've seen people that have the worst UIs possible. Like, look at Sko. Sko's UI is like complete dog shit, but he's a good player and he gets stuff done. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But I'm sure he would agree with you that he could find ways to clean up his UI a bit, because it's pretty much hard to see anything on his UI. And I joke about that because I know Sko. I don't want people in the stream to think that I'm like trash talking. But anyways, like I was saying, a lot of my shit here is like centralized around my character. Whether it be buffs, debuffs, chi, energy, cooldowns, and all that stuff. It's all right there within like a short little window around my character. The only thing that I even have to look anywhere, like I'll look to the left if I need to look at raid frames. A lot of people ask why my action bars are so small. It's because I don't really look at my action bars, because there's no reason to look at your action bars. No one clicks or anything. And things like that, like any important buffs or debuffs or weak auras around my character. So if anything, I would say that would be the only adjustment I would make to your UI, would just be to get your chi and your energy kind of located up a little bit closer to where where your character is. So see, like here on the stream, your character is right here where I'm moving the mouse, and you're having to look all the way in the bottom at your chi, energy and things like that. Now it's not way out of the way. It's not the same as looking like to a far corner of your shit, but it definitely, you could maybe adjust it a little bit. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's all about finding something you're comfortable with. I like how you have your shuffle that's pretty close to your character, your stagger that's also pretty close to your character. It looks like your Fort Brew, Elusive Brew, Expel Harm, Chi Wave, and what's that one in the middle between all that?
The in between the Elusive Brew and its spell harm,
Yeah, yeah, what is that one?
that's my guard.
What? That doesn't look like a guard icon.
It's a cooldown timer for it,
Oh, okay,
like a
gotcha.
progress bar.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's perfect then. I mean, you got basically like all of your main or most of your main abilities. The only thing I would say, what about your keg smash? Like, what are you monitoring your keg smash timer?
I don't have a timer for that.
Okay, that's another thing I would probably like. You see here on. I put it this way. I used to not have a tracker for my main like like I call it like the big five abilities that you want to know on them or four. Wait, yeah, four. Big four abilities that you want to know on a monk like that you use consistently. And that is your level 90 talent, which is either Zwin or Rushing Jade Wind, as you can see here on my UI, that's the far left. The gap in between there is Expel Harm. So basically, and then after that is Keg Smash, and then after that is either Chi Burst, Chi Wave, or Zen Sphere. So like all four of those are like right underneath my character, and if those are not lit up, I need to hit it. Like if I don't see a Keg Smash icon, I know that it needs to be used ASAP, and whenever it is on cooldown, I have a timer right there letting me know when it's coming back off of cooldown. So like that's a really big part of playing a monk to like maximize your damage and that's one thing that I didn't necessarily do up front, is because I wasn't maximizing my keg smash damage. And that's why if you guys go back and look at the videos from our progression Lei Shen kill and our progression Rodin kill, like that was an adjustment I made to my UI between those two bosses because I switched to the monk on Lei Shin, and I was like kind of figuring it out on the fly. I even had like strength gear on. I was like 519 eye level. It was a pain in the ass, but by the time we ended up getting through Rodin, I'd kind of like worked through a lot of the rough areas, and a lot of that was UI changes. I made a lot of changes to my UI to facilitate a lot of the differences in playing the monk, and one of those was, like I said, having you want a keg smash timer, you want a chi wave, chi burst, Zen sphere timer, and you want an expel harm timer, and then also one for your either rushing jade win or zwin. And other stuff that you could also throw on there is like you have like with dampen harm, and things like that. That is and your fortifying brew and things like that. That's all of that stuff, is very, very important information that I would suggest like having in an easily accessible like visual, like place where you can see it. Um, let's see. Um, Profession wise, like I said, engineering is really solid. I don't know how open you are to re-rolling professions or whatnot, but if I were, if you had the gold and desire to do it, I would probably switch alchemy with something like leatherworking or I'm sorry, blacksmithing, I mean, for a monk, because you're getting secondary stats through blacksmithing, like crit or mastery, whereas a lot of the other professions are giving you base stats like stamina or some shit. Like you don't really need that much stamina as a monk unless it's a really magic heavy fight.
And I
Um,
was actually thinking about swapping alchemy for blacksmithing.
yeah, I would definitely do that, especially if you had the gold. That would be that'd be a pretty decent gain. I mean, you're gaining what like how much is a gem? 320. So
It'd
you're
be
getting
about
600,
640.
640 mastery or crit, whatever you want to choose. And I know some people are asking like why, what's better between two-handers or one-handers for a monk? They're very similar. I know some like super mathlete could probably tell you one has a slight edge, but if it just pretty much comes down to whatever you can get first. Like say for me, it was like you take the two-hander because none of the DPS really needed a two-handed staff, whereas the rogues or monks could be using one-handers. So it was like let the DPS have the one-handers and the monk tank takes the two-hander. It's not that much difference. I mean, I'm sure there is a difference, but it's not like a gigantic amount. So either one works. It's kind of like what you get your hands on first. Um, one question I had for you. What about your bad juju? What do you think about that trinket? I don't have one. I'm just curious.
Um, it's pretty good, I think, but I would much rather use Rune of Reorigination,
Right?
but I only have a normal version of it, so I didn't think it
Is
was.
your okay? Wait, is this one heroic? Okay, your badge is just heroic upgraded. Okay. Um, let me look at how many times it pro. What's the name of it? Juju Madness. I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Supremus. No. Dogs like bringing a squeaky toy in here. Hmm. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, as far as like critique on the whole fight, it's gonna be kind of hard to, you know, look at your Lei Shen pulls and give you a very like detailed analysis in that regard. More so, I guess, a more of a detailed analysis than we kind of like got so thus far without it. You know, without seeing a little bit longer pulls. One question I have for you: do you have a pull of like Darumu, for example? Do you have one of those?
I might somewhere on my stream page.
Actually, I think I found one. Hang on. Let me see. And I know we've got quite a few people joined since we first started. Just to give you guys a quick overview that have just stepped in. This is something that happens every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central. You know, helping out, you know, the different, it's like a sub Sunday thing, benefit. You know, if you guys are interested in having, uh, you know, detailed analysis, it's basically like designed to help guilds out that are either stuck on a fight, looking for ways to improve on a fight, or you know, specifically, or you know, people that tank, I can help them out like on a class by class basis. People that don't tank, I can still help you out on a like broad overall like fight overview basis. But you know, this week is on Saturday we had you know, an initial example. As you can check it out on my YouTube. That was from Archdruid on Kil'jaeden, and then the actual. This is the first official guild workshop on a Sunday, and we have Byrcemonk from Kil'jaeden, and that's who we're talking to right now. Just trying to look at you know, his monk. We went over things, you know, from, you know, the logs. Just took a quick look at his stream. Went over his armory and also UI and stuff like that. So if any of you guys are interested in it, it's kind of open to whatever subs are interested. You know, just make sure you sub to the channel, and you can send me an email or send me a message on Twitch, and then we'll go from there. But that said, going back to this here, I just wanted to take a look at his Darumu. Okay, you got an actual video. That's cool. I'm gonna look at your damage. Okay, not bad at all, man. 203k. That is not bad at all. Were you a crit build earlier this week for Darumu?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely looks like you got a pretty good hang of like what's going on in the monk. I mean, as far as like completely. So you guys had an 8-minute kill. Let me look here. Let me see if I can find our Darumu kill for this week, and I want to see what time it was, and I just want to compare the two. I'm assuming you guys two-tanked the fight, right?
Yeah. We've been slowly switching over to possibly one tanking it,
Yeah.
just because the Pally just doesn't really like the threat I have.
Okay. Yeah, so say for instance here, this is our week, our this is ours this week. I did 223k, but our kill time is pretty like quite a bit faster, so that would attribute a little bit of the. But yeah, for as far as you're going with, let me find it again. Yeah, that's not bad at all, man. 203k. Let's kind of look at. I just want to take a look and look at like you know, keg smash usage and just kind of things like that, because this is the number one thing that you want to be looking at for, you know, like how to optimize your damage. So like here you had, I'm gonna get a calculator out because I'm not that savvy at math. You had 38 plus 52. So you had 90 total keg smash hits. And then mine here, granted it's like a minute and a half difference. 47 and 14. So your keg smash, you're definitely doing that. Seems like on cooldown. I'd have to actually get somebody that's super good with math to figure that out. We'll look at some other stuff here. Chi wave hits, ballparking around like 105. So that's good. See, are you using Zwin or? Actually, I guess
I
we'd have to
was
look at.
using Zooing for most of the farm kills.
Okay, how many times do you get to are you using your Zwin on this fight?
I honestly can't remember.
I don't
I
think
want to
it's.
say
Let's see.
probably twice,
The
but
one
I'm
thing
not
I think you
sure.
could probably get away with, you can probably use it at the beginning, then you get 3 minutes, 6 minutes. Yeah, that's probably. You could probably get away with using it a third time if you're. I guess it depends. Do you pick the boss up first or no?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, definitely. If you're picking the boss up first, I would pop it almost right off the bat. Each phase is about 3 minutes long. You can, yeah, I would. You could probably get another Zwin off in there, and that probably would have gave you pretty decent more boost in damage. But I mean, yeah, just kind of like going through some of these random logs of yours. It looks like you got a pretty good hang of how to play the monk, so that's a plus for sure. Um, so only one more thing I want to look at here for your Darumu. Just kind of look at your shuffle uptime and your Tiger Palm buff uptime. 98% uptime on shuffle. That's perfect. Uh, Tiger Power also really solid. Um, yeah, man, this is really good all around. So I guess ultimately this comes down to, I know you were asking about Lei Shen or whatnot. I would just say go back to the crit build. It looks like you know what you're doing. Um, you know, the one adjustment I would say on the opener was, like I said, pop tire or hit it with Tiger Palm right off the bat, and then right off the, right after the Tiger Palm, then you hit it with your Keg Smash, and then get your Blackout Kick up. So you're basically delayed one GCD on you getting your shuffle up, but you have Dampen Harm popped prior anyways. So um, let me just make sure I'm not overlooking anything major here. Uh, Actually, I see that you're reforged into some haste. I think that's what you asked about earlier. Reforging into haste.
yeah. I did that after watching your video yesterday with Archdrug about the using Chi Burst and Rusting Jade Wing. I didn't think 3.2k haste would be enough.
I don't even know how much haste I have right now. I don't even go. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, I know what it is. I have my Reforged Light set up to put haste over. Hang on, what the fuck do I have Reforged into haste? Okay, it's reforging out of. Yeah, that's what my Reforged Light does. I probably actually need to set that up because you don't really need haste. Um, so I have 4.78. You've actually got more haste than I do right now. Yeah, I would definitely say reforge out of that haste, unless it's like a piece. Like, let's see here. Let's see what piece you have reforged the haste on. Um, okay, yeah, you reforged your Renataki's, and basically both your trinkets. Yeah. So, um, I would. I mean, obviously that would be switching up if you go back to crit. Yeah, just swap back to crit. Just do what you're doing. Tweak that on the opener. Get in the habit of using, your Russian Jade Wind and Chi Burst, and Yeah. I guess one more thing I would say about your Lei Shen. Do you have any questions about Lei Shen other than kind of like dealing with the damage intake, or no?
Yeah. I heard you were talking about Chi Burst and Rushing Jade Wing for the ball lightnings.
Right.
About when should I be aiming to get those out?
Like, what do you mean? Like, when to start casting Chi Burst?
Yeah. Should I cast it on the boss or target someone and cast it on them?
You cast on the boss. One sec. I'm gonna. Let's see here. I'm gonna find uh, let me find. Damn it. Let me find a video of. The fuck? What was this past Tuesday? 25th?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The titles like ran in with the raid testing from earlier in the day. Okay, let me go ahead and link you this, and we're just gonna go over it. Okay, yeah. Throw this in Skype, and let's just skip to. Hey, go ahead and skip to like the 5 hour and 27 minute mark, and then let me know when you're there. I'll just kind of walk you through exactly how you want to be using the Chiverse and the Rushing Jade Wind.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay. What's your timestamp right now?
5:20:02.
5:20.
The ball lightnings just spawned.
Wait. You're at 5:20, or did you say
Yes,
27? No. Go to
5:20.
no. Go to 5:20. Wait. I'm gonna right now. We should be just getting out of. Actually, yeah. Just hang on. I'm gonna wait till we get out of the intermission here on this video, and then I'll give you the actual. Okay, go to 5:28:18.
Okay, I'm there. You're just coming out of intermission.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and hit play. And you can kind of see how this is going to play out here. So the way it happened, I mean, if you're tanking or the other person's tanking, that's fine, whatever. You should have the people gripping onto the boss for the most part. So what happens here, you see, all the range are out. The ball lightnings are going to spawn. You want to have, obviously, if you're tanking, you want to have your shuffle up. But the key here is the grip's going to come 1 to 2 seconds after they spawn. So, like, initially, right as they spawn, you want to be winding up your Chi Burst. So, as you see here, these spawn, and then, I mean, Chi Burst is a 1 second cast. So, right as they spawn, they're about to get gripped. So, you want to have your Chi Burst already casting on the boss. So, as soon as they are gripped, your cast finished. Because what you don't want to waste a full second, because you're only going to get a very few amount of seconds on these ads. And that's what I was saying, depending on your raid DPS and how long the ads are up, the higher your damage is going to go. So like for us, our ads die, like, let's see here. They're all at full HP at 35 seconds, and we'll see how quickly they die here. They get gripped in, stunned, and they're dead in less than 3 seconds. So, that's like 2 GCDs, 3 if you're lucky. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you're like landing one as they're hitting. So you only get like 2 to 3 GCDs depending on how quickly they're dying. And you can see there for me it was They get gripped. I'm casting a chi burst as they're getting gripped. As soon as they land, the chi burst finishes. I hit them with a keg smash, a rushing wind, and a breath of fire, and then they're dead. So I mean, like that's the amount of time that you have to deal with those ads.
Okay.
And another thing, if you're looking at just like analyzing your own play, and you see in the top right corner of my stream, it's a mod called Truefy CD, or Truefig CD, or Truefy GCD, or whatever some weird fucking name. Um, you can, just it's not something that you watch during the fight, but you can go back and watch it later on and just make sure that you're hitting what you need to be hitting when you need to be hitting, if that makes sense. Like, like for me, I'll go back and watch my stream and just kind of look at what I'm doing in what order and be like, well, if I move that to here, would it be better or something like that. So that's another thing that you can, adjust a little bit or make an adjustment UI wise. Just kind of add that add-on, put it up out of the way. You don't need to be watching it during the fight or anything, but you can definitely be looking at it later on to kind of look at your gameplay and what to optimize.
Okay. I'll go give that a look at then.
Like that.
And
I just put it in
really,
stream chat.
the only other thing I really had questions about were I've started letting my stagger tick down somewhat, unless it's a really big stagger and I'm a really big hit's about to come.
Right.
Should I keep trying to do that more or?
I don't know, man. I mean, it just depends. Like, with your four piece, you're gonna have a lot of purifying brews to kind of throw around. Do you actually? That being said, do you have a way to track when your four piece proc happens on your UI right now?
Yeah, where my stagger weak aura is, it will light up, kind of like the chi wave is lit up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just make sure you're tracking that and using it as often as you can. But to be honest, I wouldn't purify your shit unless you're at like moderate. I mean, like if you're at a light stagger, I mean, who gives a shit? It's like marginal damage unless you have
Oh, yeah.
chi to burn and you don't have shit else to hit. But you know, if you're at light stagger, I would just keep DPSing. Don't waste any chi on purifying that if you're only at light.
Yeah, I usually try and clear my stagger if it's in the red, because usually my moderate will tick down before I can get the chi to clear it, and it turns into light.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, depending on, I mean, a lot of it's just depending on the flow of damage intake. I would say look to purify it if you hit moderate and you have excess chi, or if you, especially if you have the four-piece proc or things like that. Once you hit moderate, that's kind of like, do I want to get rid of this? But anything light or below, I wouldn't worry with it.
Okay, and one more thing.
Sure. What's up?
When we're taunting the boss between the quadrants on the pillar energy,
Right.
any suggestions about that? Should I be taunting it over, or
Right. You
should I
should
just have the power?
always. Yeah. That's the number. That is probably I don't know. I wouldn't say the single most important reason to have a monk tank on the fight, but it is a very huge benefit to having a monk on that fight. Is the provoke um,
It's move faster.
makes it, yeah, it does a sprint when you taunt it. So you should always be the one taunting to the new quadrant.
Okay. Yeah, so just to recap, you suggest I go back to crit, stay as low haste as I can without reporting into it,
Right,
and
that's
just
correct.
keep going like that.
Yep, and like as far as your enchants, I was looking at those. Make sure you keep your stam on your cloak, chest, and whatnot.
I had the crit Agi enchant on my shoulders in the video, Should I go back to that or keep the
I don't
stam
I
one?
don't think it's gonna. I went actually stam all across the board on my like major. Like I even have it on my legs just because it's so much stamina. It's 430 stamina, as opposed to 285 agi. I don't know. I mean, like you can make either one work, man. I don't. I would. I mean, if you're going like a full crit build, I mean, it's. I kind of like got a little bit of survivability built into mine. With like I said, with the enchants that I'm using, I've got the uh, stam to shoulders, legs, and chest. But either one would work. But as far as like gymming and reforging, that's where you're going to get the vast majority of your stats. So I would definitely be going for full crit in that department and try to get as close to 15k crit as you can.
Okay. And 3.2k haste is enough,
For
or should
sure.
I try and get
Yeah.
that lower?
I mean that's fine. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't worry with it. I mean, it's not a bad stat, but it's if you have the option to go between haste or crit, you want to go with crit, or if you have the haste, if you can get that into, I mean, pretty much if you can drop it into, hit expertise up until when you're capped, and then after that, that should be the priority you want to follow. Hitting expertise up until cap, hard cap on expertise. Then after that, you want to have a max priority set on crit, and then if you're say if the piece has crit on it and you're already hitting expertise cap, what do you go to after that? From a pure DPS standpoint, it would be haste. But if for say like Lei Shen, I would probably the fourth stat priority I would probably say would be mastery for you.
Okay. And one last thing, I was thinking about using the glyph of retreat for the threat reduction for when taunt swaps happen, because I tend to have to stop attacking completely or I pull back.
Oh
Should I
well.
keep doing that or
No, I mean
what?
you're gonna need. Well, I
Because
guess
they're
you could
saving
replace.
salves for the DPS. Was salving a couple DPS every pull, just about.
What the fuck? Are you serious? Like what? I don't even understand what you meant. Like how? Who has threat issues on that fight? I mean, like he hits so hard. You have so much vengeance. No one should be having threat issues.
Well, our Fury Warrior, for one, asked for a salve on every pull.
What, like on the pull or like after the pull? On the pull, yeah. I mean, threat can get a little bit
On the
wanky
pull,
as you're
yeah.
getting. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're going to be getting your vengeance built up and things like that. And if a warrior goes like full fucking retard on the pull, they do insane threat. So I mean, whatever. I mean, that's salve him on the pull if he wants, but you should not need a salve or any type of threat issues at all once the once the fight's underway. So um, I would just say I would not glyph retreat because there are going to be times when you need to roll and you don't want to roll and then have the boss you know what I mean, like leave being aggroed on you. That would turn into that's going to cause more problems than it saves. So yeah, I would not glyph that the retreat thing. I would, if anything, if you're having threat problems on tank swaps, just tell the pally to pick it up. He should not be having to deal with, I mean, waiting. Like say you have a keg smash come off cooldown, and then like the pally taunts, don't just immediately right as he taunts hit it with like a huge keg smash or something. I mean like you can wait one or two uh, seconds before hitting again just to make sure the pally gets it on him because he inherits 50% of your vengeance when he taunts, and he should have holy power built up. So as soon as he taunts, he's hitting it with a shield slam, and tank swaps happen pretty like I don't know the exact timing, but I know Holy Avenger could be something that he's using, especially on the first time that he taunts. He should be using Holy Avenger because that's going to make it stick on him like glue, and then after that, it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, it's only very rarely that it happens. And he's the raid leader too, so it's probably him watching other things too.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, you got a lot going on as a raid leader as far as watching, but he's got to, he's got to be able to do, you know, his job as a tank as well. So it's not like you can just be like, oh, I'm raid leading. That's why my threat isn't where it should be. It's like that's got to happen because you can't ever slow down DPS. That's never the answer. So if just talk to him. You don't have to say it to him publicly. Just be like, talk to him outside of a raid and just be like, hey man, try using Holy Avenger when you taunt or have Holy Power pulled and ready to go. Because if he's sitting at 5 Holy Power right before he taunts, like say what I would do if, especially if I was having issues with like the monk pulling threat off me once I taunted, I'd be like, okay, I need to, pump out more juice once I get the boss on me. So I would have 5 Holy Power, I would taunt, shield slam, hit it with a judgment, then like another shield slam, so within 3 GCDs, you've already shield slam, twice, and he shouldn't be having threat issues at all.
okay. Well, that's all the questions I had. So thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad you hopped on here. It took about an hour, but we covered quite a bit of stuff. So, but if you have any questions at all in the future, you've got a way to contact me now. Just go ahead and hit me up on there. Just send me an IM, and I'll more than happily give you some input on whatever you have questions about, especially once you get later in the fight uh, for Lei Shen.
Okay, and would you suggest dropping heroic bad juju for possibly a heroic Thunderforge ruin trinket
Uh, I don't know. I mean,
if
like,
I'm full crit?
I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know the difference in the reason that I have a rune of origination is for a defensive build mainly, like say on progression. I'm going to be using a lot of heroic or the rune of regeneration because you can set it up to proc mastery, and whenever it procs mastery, it's like a little mini shield wall basically.
Yeah.
But the DPS gain from it's pretty nice too. I don't know how well it's going to stack up against bad juju. I'm assuming it's pretty similar, but I wouldn't. If I were you, I wouldn't waste the upgrades on that. I would use them on like some of your other heroic pieces. Like let's see, your belt could use. You've got a heroic belt or heroic neck or something like that. Those would be better suited, in my opinion, for your upgrades at the moment. And then once you pick up like a heroic rune, maybe, or heroic Thunderforge especially.
Yeah, I was mainly asking about the ruin for going into 5.4 because
Oh, you'll definitely need one then, yeah.
I'll probably go back to full mastery for then.
Right, yeah, I agree. I mean, on progression, for no doubt, that's what you would need. But right now, just make sure you get all your other pieces upgraded to hopefully, if you guys are already working on Heroic Lei Shen, you should be able to get it down before 5.4.
Well, yeah, we just killed Agamis this week, so
Yep. Lei Shen's a hard fight, but I mean, with like I said, with the the guides and the gear and all that stuff that people have got now, that should be only a couple week event, and you guys should be able to be closing it up.
okay. Well, thanks again. So,
Yeah, man. All right, and thanks again for hopping on. And if you have any questions at any point, you know how to get a hold of me. All right.
oh, and could you send me the add-on name in Skype
Yes, sir.
so I could go get that?
There you go.
Okay.
All right, man.
Thanks.
Yep. I'll catch you later. Thanks for hopping on. Okay, real quick for the stream. That was the Sub Sunday Guild Workshop. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. A little bit of a uh, just detailed, how to improve. This week it was a monk tank. Like I said, I have no problem helping other people with different tank classes, whether it's, preferably like a DK Pally monk. Those are the ones I'm most knowledgeable about. I know, I do know stuff about warriors and druids as well, but just not that in depth because I haven't tanked any heroics on those. But aside from that, like I said, this is pretty much open to any one of the subs. If you guys are interested in having your guild participate in this, whether it's, you don't even necessarily have to be a tank. You can just want to have, you know, me help your guild out with a fight that you're having problems with. It could be like a healer that's like, yo, man, we're having problems on Dark Animus. You know, help us out. It's like, okay, cool. The only thing I ask of you guys is that we have access to a video and some logs, and that's the main two things that I would need. You know, one or the other. You know, preferably a video would be nice. That way I can follow along, but logs at a minimum. So all of these will be uploaded to YouTube. That's why if you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll be able to see I'll have a playlist updated with those, as well as all the PTR action from the beta, or PTR rather. You know, pretty much all this stuff will be put on my YouTube and you know, on Twitter and all that stuff. So that's going to wrap this up. Hoardhound Gang probably going to be starting later tonight. We're going to be working on Animus. If you guys want to stick around and watch that later tonight. Animus 10-man with Hoardhound Gang. But anyways, thanks again for watching, and a huge thanks to Byrcemonk for hopping on here and doing this week's session. And if anybody's interested, please just make sure you're a sub. Send me a message on Twitch. And you know, we'll get something lined up for next week. I've already got a few people messaging me. Depending on how in depth we want to go, we can maybe knock out a couple in 1 week. So hopefully you guys enjoy the stream. It's a nice, informative segment that I want to be doing every week, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. All right, so I will talk to you guys later tonight whenever we're doing the 10-man stuff. Okay, later.